asked them to consider paddling students again. And so when we sent that poll out, it was a very simple poll. Just do you want to reinstate corporal punishment, yes or no? And then we gave them an opportunity to give us any feedback with that. And an overwhelming 70% of the principals who responded said no.
Really?
So,
Over
yeah.
70%?
Yeah. And it's kind of one of those things that, I think many of us kind of maybe have our personal beliefs and how we choose to raise our own children versus, whether or not we feel comfortable implementing such, the same strategies with other people's children. And of course, Refuge Parish has had a history of some things that doesn't bring positive attention to it. And so, I may have shared last time, Al, I can't remember, but, I know my last couple of years of being principal, we implemented a deal where my assistant principal in charge of discipline would call parents when there was a situation that could have led to a suspension. And, we gave the parent the option to come up and paddle, and so, there are ways to help work with parents to do things other than suspension. Obviously, it's typically not a good idea to send a child home, when the parents are still needing to work and their parents are still needing to do things. But, it's another example of how we have to work together with parents to try to come up with solutions that will help a child learn to change their behavior, but also continue to progress academically.
Yeah, because the one thing you don't want are disruptive students who prevent the rest of the students from learning.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's obviously protecting the integrity of the academic program in our schools is one of the highest priorities we have. And so you've got to have solutions, but I think the principals overwhelmingly requested that not be one of the ones that they're forced to implement.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, we already have a call coming in for Mr. Powell, so let's go ahead and take that. Good morning. You are on Talkback.
Good morning, and really enjoy the show. I just had a quick question. Several years ago, we had a principal that was, the terminology that's been used is hung out to dry because he paddled a student without the parent's permission. And I would agree that from the standpoint of the principals, they don't want that hanging over their head where the parents are going to be able to come back and sue the individual. And what was the outcome of that case? And I'll hang up and listen.
Is he talking about the Phoenix case?
I would assume, and I can only speak to the perspective from the school board side, and I can confirm that individual is no longer an employee of the district. There were some other things pending on the legal side that I honestly haven't followed up with. They haven't reached back out to us.
It's been continued with no date set. Yeah. So, yeah.
Okay. All right. Another call. Let's take that. Good morning. You're on Talkback with Superintendent Jeff Powell.
Well, good morning, Uncle Al.
Hey, good morning. How are you?
If I was any better today, I just couldn't handle
it. Or people couldn't handle you.
Say again?
I said, or people couldn't handle you.
What else is new?
That's true. Well, it's good to hear from you.
At my age, it's good to be heard from anybody. I got a related question.
Okay.
It looks like the Supreme Court has given President Trump the go-ahead to eliminate the Department of Education.
Correct.
How is that, if that comes to pass, which I think it will, how is that going to affect Refuge Parish?
Okay, great question.
Yeah, it's a wonderful question, and one that we've all kind of been studying and reviewing as different pieces of information come out. And, I've gone on record to say I feel comfortable with them eliminating a lot of the aspects of the Department of Education. I've said before that the genesis of many of the programs and the funding at the Department of Ed, I think had the heart was right, but then the implementation over the course of the last few decades has gotten deterred in terms of its overall focus. What we have found out so far, there are about 4 buckets of funding that are being withheld at this point, I think to the tune of about $9 billion, I believe, at the federal level, that typically would have been released to states by this time. The majority of that funding has been specific to ESL and migrant work. So the interesting part about that is our new accountability system that was just adopted last year has a huge component for migrant learner, Yale English language learners. And so it's going to be interesting to follow that. Another big bucket that they've up to this point have withheld funding for is Title II dollars, which Title II dollars are typically used for a lot of the professional development activities that we have. And we also use some of it for what we call class size reduction teachers to keep our class sizes pretty small. So we haven't gotten a lot of direction. In fact, Dr. Brumley from the State Department received a 3-sentence email about 3 weeks ago to let him know that when the news broke that some of these funds were going to be withheld. And up until this point, we've not gotten any additional direction on that other than to kind of, proceed as normal with all the other funds, which the majority of our Title I funds, which is one of the biggest buckets we get, we're being told are going to be fine. But so it's as far as eliminating the Department of Ed, there's a lot of components, individual components to that. That's where a lot of your high stakes testing comes from, the mandates for those kinds of things. But we've heard we've gotten no information about ending programs like the Individuals with Disabilities in Education Act, right? And the funding. I mean, the Refuge Parish gets upwards of $9 million to take care of our students with disabilities. And so we've received no information that stuff like that would be inhibited.
All right.
Could you be more specific on what programs that would be eliminated if that funding never comes about? That you wouldn't do otherwise, but the federal money was there to do it.
Yeah, I think the only, if you talk quote unquote program that would be at risk at this point is the programs that we provide for English language learners. That's the only one that there's very specific funding tied to. There's 2 different funding sources, one small piece of Title I and then a Title III portion of that. There is some question about Title IV, which Title IV is our well-rounded educational opportunities, some of our co-curricular, extracurricular activities, as well as some safety and security pieces. That one's kind of up in the air. We wouldn't anticipate that's not going to be funded, but that's only about $712,000 total for us, which I know may sound like a lot of money, but in a $350 million budget, there's things in there that we would probably still be able to fund. Just have to move funding sources.
All right. Thank you so much for
the benefit of people who don't know what Title III or IV, which includes me. What are we talking about? What's Title III, Title IV?
Yeah, so that's what I was just describing. Title III is primarily for migrant learning, English language learners. Title IV is for what the policy calls well-rounded instructional programming for things like your bands and your theaters, your extracurricular and co-curricular activities. So each funding source, each title has a very specific purpose. There's also a little piece of that can be used for things like safety and security. So when you see enhanced video cameras on our campuses, some of the fencing and controlled entry doors. So each title has a very specific focus. So Title I is primarily for students who come from economically disadvantaged situations. Title II is for professional development activities. Title III is for migrant learners, and Title IV is for the safety and security and well-rounded education.
All right. Arthur, thank you for the call this morning. All right, we need to take a break. More with Superintendent Powell coming up.
KSYL.
Hello, I'm Dr. Noah Miller. I'm the new guy at the clinics. I'm a family medicine physician from Vedrine, Louisiana, and I'm now accepting new patients. Call today for an appointment. The clinics offers a wide range of services, including primary care, family and chronic care, urgent and acute care, on-site lab and x-ray as well. Same-day appointments are available, and we accept most insurance and Medicare. Experience exceptional care at the clinics. 1587 North Bolton. Call 445-9823 or reach us online at theclinics.us. Looking forward to seeing you at the clinic.
Attention all real estate agents, property owners, and lenders. When you or a client needs a real estate attorney, call the professionals at Thompson Law Firm. Whether the legal matter is basic or complex, the Thompson Law Firm can accurately guide you or your client to a successful outcome. That's why numerous industry professionals have trusted the Thompson Law Firm for years. They also handle estate planning, successions, and business law. Call them at 473-0052. I am a paid non-client attorney spokesperson.
Hello, Louisiana Problem Gamblers Helpline. How can I help you?
I think I need help for my gambling. I'm losing everything that's important to me because of it.
Gambling help is available. If you or someone you know are struggling with gambling, there's free help and support for you. Call 877-770-STOP or chat online at helpforgambling.org. Take the first step toward recovery today.
To take part in the show, call 442-8255. That's 442-TALK. 70 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYO. Now back to Talk Back.
All right, we continue with Superintendent Powell. So the LEAP data was released on July 3rd by the State Department of Education. And let's talk about some of what we saw here in Rapides Parish.
Yeah, man, just another exciting announcement, Al. It's funny. It's like, I think we've been on just about every time right after another big announcement about student achievement data, whether it's across the state or here locally in Rapides Parish. And it's exciting to see the continued impact of all the hard work of our teachers and our students and our families coming together. We were tied for second in the state for overall growth in student proficiency. So this is like the first wave of information that'll come out as it relates to the performance of our students in our district. You know, it's later in the fall that we actually get school performance scores and district performance scores.
Sure.
But with the change of accountability, the majority of the new accountability system is specific to student proficiency rates. And so as we continue to see improvements in that, I think we've shared the graphic before that shows the growth of the state that has led us to being 32nd in the country as opposed to 50th or 49th, is positively correlated with the growth in Rapides Parish, who has had equal growth over the course of the last 5 years or so coming out of the pandemic. And so it's extremely exciting to be able to celebrate those numbers. I mean, at the end of the day, we talk about all these other things, the issues like corporal punishment and what do we do with disruptive behaviors and things. But what we know is that a public school system exists to educate children. Right. That's what we're here for. That's what people pay taxes for. And the only measure of whether or not we do that is whether or not they're growing academically.
Sure.
Now, people expect us to do that safely, right? Keep our employees and our students safe. And they expect us to have a good time doing it, right? We love having our homecomings and our dances and, all these wonderful things create a positive atmosphere and environment for our children. But it's extremely exciting to be able to work in a district, in a community where people value educational growth and the hard work and the fruit of their labor is shining through every time the state releases these numbers.
Yeah, and you look at the growth. I mean, English, math, science, those are such key areas, and it's wonderful to see grades 3 through 12 all saw growth, and especially at the high school level.
Yeah, man, our high schools, they're the ones that are going to be the most dramatically impacted by the new accountability. For the last 15 years, their accountability formula has been a little bit more heavily weighted on what the people 15 years ago said was the major issue. And the major issue at that time was students graduating. I mean, at the time, I think Rapides Parish or the state itself, the graduation rate of high school students in 4 years was only like 60%.
Oh, wow.
And so now you're up to about 90%. And so obviously that formula helped address that need. And now the shift in focus is, okay, but are our students graduating at an appropriate proficiency rate in Algebra 1, Geometry, English 1, English 2, how they're doing on ACT and things like that. So the new accountability formula for high schools specifically will mirror more like what the elementary and middle schools have been for the last 15 years. 75% of their score will be on proficiency rates on these exams.
I know it's been like a very complicated issue too on, a lot of moving parts on improving scores. The South typically had some lower scores in the past. But I saw something the other day where a lot of the southern states are rising. Some of the northern states are kind of struggling. What are you guys doing differently now?
Yeah, so you may have seen the same article I read. I can't remember who put it out, but it's called the Southern Surge. They're calling it. And a journalist came down and spent a few days with our state superintendent, Dr. Brumley, to try to get a vibe for it. And of course, the journalist's perspective was, one of the questions he was asking was, why are more people not down here studying what's going on in, Louisiana, Mississippi, Tennessee, states that are not typically known for increases in academic achievement. And I have to reiterate a lot of what our state superintendent says. What we've done over the last 3 or 4 years is really gone back to the basics. Students have to be able to read. Every educator who's ever taught, I believe, has heard or participated in the notion that children learn to read through 3rd grade, and then after 3rd grade, they read to learn, right? And so if that is truly the case, and we believe that, then we have to be dedicated to the mission of making sure that every student can read on grade level by the end of 3rd grade. I mean, that is the foundation to success moving forward. And so a return to basics there, making sure that all of our K-3 teachers are educated and participate in programming to really know how to teach reading. So there's been a focus there. And then making sure that our teachers have the tools to support that. Of course, we know that legislation passed a couple of years ago where students who can't read on grade level in 3rd grade are not allowed to be promoted to the 4th grade. And while that sounds, a little gut wrenching, it's the truth is if we're here to help children, then we have to make sure that they know how to read. Yeah. And then I think I've said on here before, it's one thing to pass legislation and implement policy, but you also have to make sure resources are dedicated to address that. And one of the things that's happened here in the state of Louisiana is there's been a huge amount of funding tied specifically to providing what the state calls high-dose tutoring during the school day to help students who don't know how to read. And so we believe that that's been a huge part of allowing Louisianians, students in the state of Louisiana, to be able to have the success that they're having.
And plus, I learned to read so I could just read fantasy books all day in my adulthood. So.
That's right. it's an entertainment factor as well.
That's right.
We have another call coming in for Superintendent Powell. Good morning, you're on Talkback.
Hey, I just tuned in a few moments ago, so I apologize. It's been covered already. But I know there was like $6 billion in cuts announced recently to states. I know. How is Rapides Parish affected by that?
Yeah, so I don't mind recapping there. At this point, the funding sources that we know of that have the potential to not be released at this point are primarily focused on migrant learning, Title III, and a small portion of Title I funds, and then some professional development monies, which that one would be difficult. We get about $1.2 million every year on that one, and that's where we're able to pay our teachers and to come in for additional professional development or some of the vendors that come in and help provide services for our teachers.
What I think I've heard the Trump administration say is they want to basically eliminate the bureaucracy and just go more to block grants for the states.
Yeah, I mean, what we're trying to follow with it is, my understanding of when this was announced a couple of weeks ago, that they've turned this over to fiscal offices, and the fiscal offices are reviewing, what we call here academic return on investment. Are these funds being used for what they were intended to be used for, and is there growth and progress in it? When they announced several months back that they had eliminated 1,300 positions from the Department of Ed, the one mistake I think they made is they shouldn't have eliminated those positions. They should have sent them to school systems and put them to work, because we're short personnel in some cases. Right. So that would have been a real boss move to make that happen. Man, I wish Trump would have called me on that. But, man. But it's an ever-changing environment, more so than probably ever before, because really federal funding has never been in a question. But I think that, like I said a while ago, the biggest piece is the Title I for economically disadvantaged students and the disabilities education funds. Those are the two biggest chunks of money that we get. That at this moment, we have not heard that there's going to be any cuts to those. Everything else, I believe we're going to be able to continue to function without a lot of loss in our programming capabilities.
Yeah, and if you want to go back to earlier in the show, he covered this more in depth, so you can listen to our podcast and catch up on that. Only got about 2 minutes left. This is going quickly this morning. We're getting ready for the new school year, and what do parents need to know?
Oh, the most important thing they need to know is get your children back on a schedule and routine. It gets hard when we start getting back into the saddle for what time we start at school. But, we focused so much the last few years. Please make sure your children are still reading at least 20 to 30 minutes every single day. It's laid such a foundation for their success coming back. Get back into that routine of going to bed at a certain time. Start limiting screen time. Get away from the video games for a little while. Get back into the routine of communicating with other adult, other humans, and and get ready to have a successful school year. I know that our principals and our teachers have been working so hard. We've had so many meetings and development opportunities through the summer. We feel like we never stop. Like it just kind of keeps rolling. But it's always exciting to see the energy around students coming back on campus. So
I do want to mention real quick the Encore stuff. What should people expect with the change?
Yeah, so new student information system. So we're getting information out with that. So parents, we already kind of started this shift to that. So you should be receiving some information via phone, text, or email about how to keep up with your children's grades and all these different events and activities that are going on there. So, when you have a new student information system, that's a huge change. Mm-hmm. So please be patient with us as we work out the kinks with that. Again, we've had meetings all week this week with counselors, teachers, and folks that are trying to make sure that new student information system is up and running and no as few glitches as possible as we start.
Awesome. Well, it's coming up quickly. When's the first day of school?
August 11th for the students, but August 5th for the teachers. That's the day they have circled on their calendar. So our big back to school event at the POA is August 5th. So we're getting ready for that. Excited about it.
Very cool. So I guess the next time we have you on, things will be off and running.
It'll be off and running, and we'll be able to celebrate some of the things going on in schools already.
That's for sure. All right, Superintendent Jeff Powell from Rapides Parish. Thank you so much, and thanks for explaining all the different titles.
Anytime. Thanks, Al.
What's Title 4 again?
Yeah. We're back with more.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics with 27 providers and 3 locations. Someone can see you today. Stick around. More of Talkback is on the way.
Put some fun in your future with Pleasure Pools. Right now, get a 16 by 32 in-ground pool for just $39,995. Financing available. Pleasure Pools has been building top-quality fiberglass, gunite, and vinyl pools across Louisiana and East Texas for over 30 years. Want more? Add a spa, waterfall, or custom feature, and we've got you covered for maintenance and remodeling too. Call 318-357-9000 or visit pleasurepoolsinc.com.
Redwood Financial Group is not a law firm.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy. In 2011, I founded Wesley Financial Group with one goal in mind, to help honest folks out of their timeshares permanently. Today, I run Wesley with my 2 sons, a real family business, treating every client and every employee like we'd want our own family treated. That philosophy has helped us grow into the largest, most trusted timeshare cancellation company in the United States. Fortune magazine even recognized us as one of the best places to work. Why? Because we genuinely care. In fact, some of our former clients were so moved by their experience working with us, they joined our team so they could help others to timeshare freedom. If you're stuck in a timeshare, give us a call. Let our family help your family.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit kit. 800-885-9700. 800-885-9700. That's 800-885-9700.
Now back to Talkback.
970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYO.
All right, we are back here on your Wednesday morning. Al Portamont. Stephen ran downstairs just for a second. He's catching a follow-up interview with the superintendent. Hold on a second, guys. Trying to eliminate some feedback here in the studio. There we go. I think we're good. So again, coming up in our second hour, really looking forward to the interview that we have scheduled with Shane Rasmussen. If you've listened to this show for a while, you know we've had him on the last couple of years. Comes in every year around this time to promote the NSU Folk Festival, which is going on this Saturday up in Natchitoches at the Prather Coliseum. It is a fantastic event, and with it looking like we're going to probably have some rain this weekend, it might be a great time to head up to Natchitoches and enjoy some amazing indoor activities. It's all about Louisiana. The music, the food, the culture. It is a tremendous event. So Shane will give us more on that. At 8:05, it'll be me and Stephen just talking with you. So we'll take some of your calls, anything you'd like to talk about today. We'll get to some of the other news items of the day as we continue here on Wednesday Talkback. Thanks so much for being with us.
You've been listening to Talkback. The opinions expressed were those of the hosts and callers, and not necessarily those of Cenlaw Broadcasting.
FM 104.9, AM 970, KSYL, and KRRV 100.3 HD3 Alexandria. It's 8 o'clock.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. A powerful Republican voice joins a growing GOP chorus urging the Justice Department to release the Jeffrey Epstein files. House Speaker Mike Johnson on the Benny Johnson Show podcast.
The White House and the White House team are privy to facts that I don't know. I mean, this isn't my lane. I haven't been involved in that. But I agree with the sentiment that we need to put it out there.
Attorney General Pam Bondi insists a much talked about client list containing the names of rich and powerful men doesn't exist. President Trump is leaving open the possibility of releasing some of the files.
Credible information, let them give it. Anything that's credible, I would say let them have it.
The Senate stayed up late to advance a bill that would claw back more than $9 billion in federal funding for foreign aid, PBS, and NPR. CBS's Torian Small.
One of the tipping points in this vote was Senator Mike Rounds of South Dakota. He previously said he had some concerns about how this could impact public broadcasting when it comes to tribal radio stations after a conversation with the OMB director, Russell Vought. He said that he was confident that there would be amendments to this that would justify his vote and would see those untouched.
Vice President Vance cast the tie-breaking vote last night. Russia launched another massive barrage on Ukraine overnight. Correspondent Cami McCormick reports.
Russia's latest aerial assault involved 400 drones. Firefighters rushed to burning buildings. It comes ahead of President Trump's September 2nd deadline for Russian President Putin to stop the attacks or face severe sanctions. He's also promised weapons to Ukraine, but Europe would pay for them. The EU policy chief wants Washington to do even more, saying if we pay for these weapons, it's our support.
This will be the first full day of testimony at the trial of a Colorado dentist, Jim Craig, who's accused of poisoning his wife. CBS's Natalie Morales.
The defense acknowledged the defendant had had multiple affairs over the course of his 23-year marriage, but prosecutors claim he had recently started an affair with a woman he met in Las Vegas. That's when they say he began poisoning his wife's morning protein shakes.
She may be a movie star.
Holy cricket, you're Harry Potter.
But Emma Watson, who played Hermione Granger in the Potter movies, has been banned from driving in the UK for 6 months. She got a speeding ticket that pushed her point violations over the 3-year 12-point max in England. Watson did not attend today's court hearing. Dow futures up 167. This is CBS News.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. We offer auto, home, and commercial auto insurance, plus a variety of business insurance options. Visit Progressive.com today.
Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort, offering small ship experiences with a shore excursion included in every port, and programs designed for cultural enrichment. Discover more at Viking.com. Viking, dedicated to creating travel experiences for the thinking person, with programs designed for cultural enrichment on board and on shore. Discover more at Viking.com. That's Viking.com.
ZipRecruiter is the place. ZipRecruiter is the place for talented teachers, savvy software developers, and master mixologists. ZipRecruiter is the place where you meet all these people and more. That's because ZipRecruiter is the place for job seekers who are looking for new opportunities. In fact, ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day, so you can find the right candidates right away. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Louisiana Radio Network, I'm Jeff Palermo. Time will tell if President Trump's one big beautiful bill, as he calls it, will be good for America. U.S. Senator John Kennedy took to the Senate floor this week to remind Americans this legislation will provide citizens with a tax break by extending the tax cuts approved by Congress in 2017.
And frankly, everybody who voted against our bill voted to raise taxes on the American people in the amount of $4.3 trillion. That's just a fact.
Democrats have expressed concerns about the cuts to health care and what it will mean for rural hospitals. Rustin Lloyd is a nurse who lives in Hammond and worries about the future of 2 rural hospitals in Tangipahoa Parish.
If Hood and Lally Kim close, that's going to create a bottleneck at North Oaks. That means longer wait times for everybody. That means more people waiting for care. more people waiting to get to the hospital, and more people dying.
Senator Bill Cassidy points out that this budget bill sets up a $50 billion fund to help struggling rural hospitals. LRN.
The clinics welcome Dr. Noah Miller, family medicine physician, to our team. Dr. Miller from Vadrine, Louisiana, is now accepting new patients. Call today to schedule your appointment. The clinics offers a wide range of services, including primary care, family and chronic care, urgent and acute care with on-site lab and x-ray. Same-day appointments are available, and we accept most insurance and Medicare. Experience exceptional care at the clinics, 1587 North Bolton. Call 445-9823 or look us up online at theclinics.us.
Well, good morning. All I can say is dress as cool as you possibly can today. And it's going to be a hot one. Sunshine, afternoon highs near 96 today. Less than a 10% chance of any rain to cool things down. And a little of any breeze at all either. Partly cloudy skies tonight. We'll go down to 76 for the overnight low. And then for Thursday, another sunny, warm day with the afternoon high temps near 94. From the Cenla Broadcasting Weather Center, I'm Dave Gratian. Currently 75 degrees in Cenla.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics. With 27 providers and 3 locations, someone can see you today.
It's Talkback, Central Louisiana's longest-running talk show. Whether it's the guests or the callers, Talkback is where Central Louisiana begins its conversation.
All right, we're back. Hour number 2 of Talkback on your Wednesday. Al Quartermont, Stephen Maxwell. We now have a mouse.
We're good.
You stole it from another studio?
I stole it from KDBS, and now they're mad at me. What am I going to do? You can't win around anywhere.
People are moving mice around here like they move cheese.
They're scurrying about. If the mouse were made of cheese, would you eat it?
It's a simple question.
If I can get that reference in once a week.
Yes.
You know, I'm a little upset because yesterday I had to leave the show early.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not upset because I had to leave the show early. I'm upset because that's the day Charlie brought donuts.
Oh.
And I missed it.
I'm upset because I wasn't here yesterday.
The Starlight Donuts, oh my God, they're really good. I love all the donut places here. I'm a big fan. We got good donuts in Central Louisiana.
We do. All kinds of places.
Harlow, Shipley, Starlight. I dig it.
What I'm looking forward to is when we get to king cake season, and Stephen will be probably doing a taste test at every single place.
I'm gonna.
Who has the best king cake?
Who has the best king cake? Bring me your king cake.
You're gonna be all over that one.
I will.
You'll gain 10 pounds in February alone.
That's right.
And love every
Worth
second
it.
of it. Oh yeah.
I do have I have 2 favorites in town, but I'm gonna keep it to myself because they're all good. But I don't want to make anyone mad. But
yeah.
I got 2 favorites.
All right. All eyes right now are on the weather happening in the Gulf of America. So, what could become a tropical storm? If so, it'll be named Dexter. Just kind of watching Nick and Tom. Looks like they're expecting we will get some rain around here. Oh. What is going on?
Oh, no.
Somebody took the mouse home with him?
Nathan did it. What the heck? Thanks for bringing it back.
But my mouse is here. I left my mouse here.
Well, since you're here, you might as well just do the show, and I'll leave. And
I've got a few minutes, but sorry.
Do we know where your mouse is?
I think I brought the wrong one yesterday.
Is this yours?
That's your.
Is this yours?
No.
I don't know.
Wow.
I don't know.
So
if
if
I saw
you're
another
just
mouse.
joining us, we couldn't find the mouse.
Are these your
grammatically
earphones?
correct?
No.
No.
If you're on the live stream, you should watch it.
These are mine.
No, those are his earbuds.
It was one of those that, see, I left you and you're just all discombobulated.
We haven't seen your mouse, though.
I gotta go buy another one.
Oh,
man.
Does it work?
Yeah, it's work. You're probably controlling it from Pineville. If I was you, I would be like,
oh my goodness. All right. Bye, Nathan.
Bye. Well, I'm glad that's solved. You ever, like,
oh man, And
I used to say when I worked for the Aces, it would have been a perfect sitcom.
Oh, yeah.
Or like reality show.
Yes.
Would have been really interesting.
Yeah.
Hey, we could do the same thing.
Any
here.
radio station. Any radio station.
Radio is the fun side of broadcasting.
It is.
I love
it. Is. Any radio station I've ever worked at is filled with its cast of characters.
And here a couple of years ago when I first worked here, it was cast of characters for sure.
Oh, my goodness.
It was so much fun.
Yeah.
It's still fun now, but you know what I mean.
And when I first got into radio, it was in the 80s. And hearing the stories that some of the guys that I worked with when they were DJs in like the 70s, yeah, wild stuff.
One guy, Miss Hollywood Harrison. I used to hear so many great stories from Hollywood.
He was a
awesome.
storyteller.
Lolly?
Yeah,
back
Lolly.
In the day? Shy?
Many of which we could not share on the air with you.
Almost none of them.
Almost none of them. Yeah, that would have to be like a Netflix show.
Oh my gosh. I don't know if you could put it on that. It'd be one of those mornings.
Yeah. But anyway, I was saying that we could see 2 to 6 inches of rain this weekend. It's the latest. So with isolated higher totals.
Yeah, I'm actually going to be meeting up with Nick later today, and we'll have a little interview on the page.
Yeah.
Unless he gets busy.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll see.
So it looks like Friday and Saturday we would get the most rain, a little bit maybe on Sunday, and then back to normal by next Monday with, temperatures in the 90s. Boy, didn't it feel hot yesterday?
Yeah, it was pretty hot.
For some reason, yesterday just felt like the hottest day so far this year.
I'd say that could be accurate. There was one about a week and a half ago that got me pretty good. Yeah. But it was pretty hot yesterday.
This is when I miss Wisconsin. This time of year for sure.
You won't miss it in December.
No. All right, we're going to take some calls here on the Beyond Bank Talk line, 442-8255. Let's go to the phones. Good morning, you're on Talkback.
Yeah, well, you two guys keep everybody busy anyway with your interesting patter.
We try to be interesting.
Anyway, yesterday I was on the road and I couldn't really respond when somebody basically put Matt Ritchie on the line, so to speak, about carbon sequestration.
Mm-hmm.
And he likened back to the roundabouts or circles or whatever you want to call them, and how everybody was against them. And then they basically found out that they weren't such a bad thing after all. But that doesn't involve 40,000 acres of a plume of compressed carbon dioxide that's oozing around our freshwater water supplies.
Did you have a chance to listen to Moon's show yesterday at all?
No, we were on the road going to Lafayette and couldn't pick it up.
All right, you might want to listen. I think it was I believe it was his 9:30 guest. Or maybe he came out at 9:20, and he was a gentleman from, I believe it's the company that wants to do the pipelines, the Cenla Hub. He was with him, and it was a guy filling in for Moon that was doing the interview. And it just might be worth going and listening to. I'd be curious your thoughts on it. It seemed like the host wasn't as familiar with the issue as I thought he might be, as compared to like Moon is. But yeah, that's what they were talking about, just putting it in the ground. And, the ground is supposed to seal it off, even as the carbon dioxide expands. And I don't know, man. I don't know. It feels, this is just me speaking, it just doesn't feel like the juice is worth the squeeze. But here's what it is. It's the money. I'm telling you, it is the federal money that has been allocated for these projects, and they're using but it's jobs for Louisiana. The Hyundai plant, same thing. So we've had these huge announcements of billions of dollars of construction and then the jobs that follow, but it's all tied to this stuff, and it's all based on the premise that the carbon that gets into the air is leading to climate change.
Well, when you convince me that the coal-fired plants in China and India are going to be exempt because they're developing nations. And what about the poor Africans? Are we going to give them individual nuclear plants so they don't have to worry about carbon dioxide and this, that, and the other?
Right.
There's a book by a guy named Charles Mann, who is a science writer for the journal Science. It's called Wizards and Prophets. And what it does is it deals, do you maybe recognize the name Borlaug? He was a professor who basically created the super wheat that was able to basically help feed people as the population expanded. And he also worked with rice and I think some other things. Well, anyway, people said that we would go to Hades in a handbasket by 2000 from the population increase.
Right.
And the wizards with plants were able to create carbohydrates that basically are feeding the world. But the prophets are the ones of the doom and gloom guys.
Yes.
About it's going to go to Hades because of the carbon dioxide and so forth. And in any event, they're basing the catastrophe on models.
Right.
And models are based on square mile projections of for around the entire planet. But the models basically, at least 3/4 of those square miles, there's no data.
Right.
And so what they're doing is they're using the computer to estimate what it would be in those square miles.
Right.
Well, okay. The computer gets out what you want it to get out.
Yeah.
And there's no reason not to conserve fossil fuels because of their immense value to us in terms of plastics and everything else that we use in everyday life.
Right.
So why don't we go to nuclear?
I agree with you 100%. Nuclear has been proven to be a safe and relatively clean technology. So, but if the federal dollars aren't chasing it.
Yeah, and I think it's to some of the politicians' defense here, some of the economic development groups and industry groups, they're just dealing with the cards that's been dealt to them. There's a situation going on across the globe, and they want to make sure that Louisiana gets a piece of that pie. That's what they're thinking. I'm not getting into like the race and stuff. Of course we know about that, but to their defense, that's what they would be arguing, I think.
Yeah, well, I recall when Bobby Jindal basically got rid of the charity hospital system, and he gave the contract for, I guess, a hospital up in that was going private up in Shreveport to some company that had never operated a hospital ever. And now in that system run by Oxness, somebody got a big payoff. Right? And look at all the big deals that Bobby Jindal was bringing to the state. And presumably, I guess, Bill Edwards allegedly was bringing to the state.
Right.
I hadn't seen the first shovel other than when they cut a ribbon and nothing else happened.
All right. Well, yeah. I know that you're passionate about this topic, and I appreciate it. And I'd encourage you to just go back, and if you can go to the KSYL website, audio on demand, look at Tuesday's Moon Griffon, Hour 1, and I'd be curious to get your thoughts on the interview.
Well, I'm sure it was all roses and peaches.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much. We'll come back with more after this.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics with 27 providers and 3 locations. Someone can see you today. Stick around. More of Talkback is on the way.
Put some fun in your future with Pleasure Pools. Right now, get a 16 by 32 in-ground pool for just $39,995. Financing available. Pleasure Pools has been building top-quality fiberglass, gunite, and vinyl pools across Louisiana and East Texas for over 30 years. Want more? Add a spa, waterfall, or custom feature, and we've got you covered for maintenance and remodeling too. Call 318-357-9000 or visit pleasurepoolsinc.com.
You too could have a beautiful smile in as little as 12 weeks. Exclusive to today's Dental in Pineville, Virtual Align Clear Aligners, the fastest, most convenient, affordable way to straighten your teeth for people on the go. Plus, they're invisible. No one will know you're doing it. Experience the Virtual Align difference. Call Today's Dental at 448-4540. It's a general dental facility on Highway 28 East in Pineville, owned by Dr. Jonas Goche. 448-4540.
A message from Israel Air Conditioning and Heating.
Yeah, my mama, she told me to pick up and call Israel Air.
She told me Israel Air. She told me.
She said they'll come running with comfort beyond compare.
At a very fair price.
Because you know we're all about your comfort, no troubles. Call 442-6657. That's 442-6657. We're all about your comfort,
If you'd like to take part in the show today, call the BON Bank Talk line at 442-8255. That's 442-TALK. And remember, if you're looking to purchase or refinance your home, call Christina Bagwell at the BON Bank Mortgage Department at 448-2430.
Now back to Talk Back, 970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYO.
All right, welcome back. So since the caller brought it up, there was a good article, if you guys ever read the Hayride, which is kind of a conservative leaning state publication online, thehayride.com, written by T. Emile Zola. Says, stopping the climate change carbon capture idiocy is a conservative cause worth fighting for. What drew me to the article and why I wanted to bring it up is that he kind of traces the roots of how we got here, which a lot of people may not know. So if you can indulge me for just a second, he talked about how the whole concept of this carbon capture and storage first appeared in 2009 when Representative Jim Morris, don't confuse him with Jay Morris, state senator, right? Authored the Louisiana Geologic Sequestration of Carbon Dioxide Act. And it was signed into law by Governor Jindal to authorize regulations for injecting and storing CO2 underground. Then he goes on to talk about fast forward to 2020. In the latter half of Louisiana's split legislative session, while the state was struggling to overcome John Bel Edwards' draconian COVID lockdowns, church closings, and vaccine and mask mandates, Senator Sharon Hewitt, who actually ran for governor a couple years ago, she quietly pushed a bill under the guise of economic recovery backed by Lobby and LOGA, Louisiana Oil and Gas Association, that put carbon capture on steroids. The Hewitt bill for the first time granted eminent domain powers to carbon pipeline developers, allowing private companies to seize land for the purpose of transporting and injecting industrial waste underground. It passed unanimously with little public awareness and was signed into law by Edwards. The justification was that the oil industry had been so buffaloed by the American left and their endless climate alarmism and was so beset by the woke capitalism of institutional investment firms and the NGO crowd. If you remember back then, you were seeing energy companies even debanked because they weren't carbon friendly. So consequently, at this time, he says, while conservative lawmakers were fighting to keep churches open, protect jobs, and end mandates, the bill was sold as a benefit to the oil and gas industry, an economic recovery tool. In reality, this new carbon capture initiative laid the groundwork for the land grab and climate change wealth transfer through federal funding, giveaways by the billions. Then you enter the Biden administration and the Inflation Reduction Act, which poured billions into every form of, his words, the Green New Scam nationwide. Predictably, the same Louisiana establishment forces jumped at the chance to cash in on carbon capture at the expense of landowners and taxpayers. And the current justification is that in order to sell liquefied natural gas to the Europeans, it's necessary to provide those carbon offsets. And that's exactly what SunGas has told us. So he's not saying anything that's not wrong there. He says,
we know that.
He says it's a valid argument, and it isn't. It's true. A couple years ago, when the Europeans began turning away from Russia as a source of natural gas amid the invasion of Ukraine, the issue of carbon offsets was raised in certain circles. But here's what's interesting. As the European electric grid starved thanks to poor output of wind and solar renewables, they're no longer demanding carbon offsets. They need all the natural gas that we can sell them. That's interesting. Meaning we're back to not even having a fake economic justification for wasting money on carbon capture boondoggles. And then he gets into how conservatives started to fight back this year. People like Chuck Owen, Brett Guyman, Rodney Schermerhorn, Danny McCormick. He said the people of Louisiana have established a beachhead in this battle thanks to these conservative warriors. With strong conservative leadership, the tide is turning in Louisiana against the Green New Scam. Again, his words, the fight for our land, our rights, and our future continues. So I just appreciated the history of that. And I'd heard a little bit from time to time Sharon Hewitt's name mentioned. I wasn't sure how that all fit in there, but I do think that, Stephen, you made the point that, people kind of on that side are seeing the economic opportunity of it. I get that. But the people who live in the rural areas are like, hold up, so
no.
Competing interests.
We've talked about it a lot, and that's the big thing. And, I talked to several state lawmakers the other day at the chamber lunch, and they say the biggest issue in the upcoming sessions, or maybe special sessions, is going to be carbon capture. Even Democrat Jay Luno, state senator here, he was saying he's still thinking about it. And he doesn't want to say either way. So, he's weighing both sides. We just heard Mike Johnson take a stance, about a week and a half ago?
Yeah.
So, it's trickling on, and we're seeing a lot of different opinions. And it's a very interesting battle, too. One you probably wouldn't have expected a year ago.
No, this was not on anyone's radar, really. I'd heard about it. And I think probably the most we heard about it was sort of in connection with the Diamond Vault project with CLECO, which they've since abandoned. So,
but just like the political sides, conservative people fighting with conservative people over, industry. Land rights. It's an interesting one. So,
absolutely. All right, we have some more calls coming in. Good morning. You're on Talkback.
Yeah, I've been reading a lot about all the climate change, and every time there's a 100-year rain event, there's the droughts here and there, and everybody blames it on carbon dioxide. There's a whole lot of other factors that are involved changing our climate, and one of them is urban heat islands. Like all these big cities and all the parking lots, that's having an effect on rainfall, just disrupting normal rainfall patterns. And I take, for example, I've been to Sam's like in the middle of the day, and the thermometer on my truck will be 10 degrees higher than where I live when I get home. Just think about it. Think about all the pavement and all the buildings, all that absorbs heat. And they said that is disrupting the rainfall patterns. There's another issue that thousands and thousands of reservoirs they built all over the world. Like, take Louisiana, there are almost no natural lakes in Louisiana. Almost every lake around is a reservoir that was built. Kincaid, Indian Creek,
Toledo Bend.
Toledo Bend. They feel like that is disrupting normal weather patterns, rainfall patterns. It's pretty hard to quantify all that,
Right. No, I agree with you. I think it's been made into a simple narrative that's much more complex. When I've talked to meteorologists who I really do respect, they will tell you that, the reality is the climate's always changing. It's just not, it's not really so much from what the political propaganda about it is. And I mean, I remember when I was a kid, like in high school, Time Magazine had like a cover issue, The Coming Ice Age. Yeah, and a couple of years later, it was like, oh no, now it's warm. So it's like, I don't know, here's what I believe. As long as the earth remains, there will be summer and winter and seed time and harvest.
Well, there's an Amazon rainforest. They've cleared out thousands of acres of that. That.
Have you ever listened to Moon's show when he has his climate czar on? This guy's name, Steve something, I think. He's very interesting because he kind of gives an alternative view on all this, and it's science-based. And so, and you do find there are scientists that are not really buying into the climate change thing, who are very credible as well. They just don't get as much of a voice. And again, I think it comes... I'm sorry, go ahead.
I'm reading a book about a climate scientist, Stephen Kunis, and he says the same thing that Brad LeBlanc says. He says CO2 is rising, but he said the contribution of humans is minuscule.
Yeah.
Compared.
Yeah, because sometimes when you have forest fires and volcanoes can put out more carbon than all the humans combined, kind of thing. So, all right, we want to get to another call. Thank you so much before we get to our guest this morning. And good morning, you're on Talkback.
Hey, Big Al and Big Steve, how y'all are there this morning?
Hey, good.
Morning.
Well, I was talking to a guy. I happened to get him on a show. I'm not going to tell you which show. His name is Steve Gorham. He has a website, stevegorham.com. And said he would love to come on and talk about live because I talked to him personally on the phone. He said this carbon capture that they're trying to do in Louisiana is nothing but a boondoggle. And then I went to the city council meeting to tell them they need to talk about carbon capture because we had a city council meeting yesterday. And I want to thank Congress for sending their people over there to the disaster and pray for them. But he said he would really like to talk to y'all, and I told him the best hour is from 8 to 9. That's when the most people listen. He would love to take on any questions about it. His name is stevegorham.com.
All right.
Email him. He'll come on the show and talk. Matter of fact, there was a guy in the city council chambers. I wish you had been there, Steve. He's pro carbon capture. He said it's going to bring billions to Louisiana and the Pineville area and everything. I said, well, man, you need to go to 970 and talk to Stephen Maxwell and talk to Urban Cast, Gag Kenton. You're so for this stuff and everything. He said, yeah, I got to set up a clinic. So see, he's in the medical field, and he wants to set up clinics, I guess, for all the workers and stuff. He said he would love to talk to y'all. I'm not giving you name, but he said he's going to contact us at some time. He's really pro carbon capture. He said we've got to have it. So I say we don't have to have it because it's going to end up hurting us.
All right. Well, thank you for the information. Appreciate it. All right. We need to take a break. When we come back, we'll be joined in the studio by Shane Rasmussen, the director of the Louisiana Folklife Center up at NSU. And we'll have all the details about this weekend's NSU Folk Festival here on Talkback.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics with 27 providers and 3 locations. Someone can see you today. Stick around. More of Talkback is on the way.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. U.S. wholesale inflation came in better than expected for June. It was little changed for the month, held back by a decline in services that suggests companies are absorbing at least some of the cost from higher import duties. From a year ago, wholesale inflation rose 2.6% when stripping out food, energy, and trade. And the futures bounced higher after this report was released this morning. President Donald Trump said he was likely to impose tariffs on pharmaceuticals as soon as the end of the month, and that levies on semiconductors could come soon as well. That suggests those import taxes could hit alongside broad so-called reciprocal rates set to kick in August 1st. And Stellantis says it will discontinue its hydrogen fuel cell program, pointing to limited infrastructure, high capital requirements, and the need for stronger incentives for consumers. The Jeep and Ram maker says it does not expect adoption of hydrogen-powered light commercial vehicles before the end of the decade. Gina Cervetti, Bloomberg Radio.
Love music, crafts, and food?
Get ready for the Natchitoches NSU Folk Festival in Prather Coliseum on the NSU campus. Come see the best fiddlers in the state compete in the Louisiana State Fiddle Championship on July 19th. The festival is supported by the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation. Visit explorelouisiana.com to plan your trip today. Come join in the fun at the Natchitoches NSU Folk Festival, July 19th.
Storms, tornadoes, power outages. It's the season, so get prepared. Get storm ready with Southern Air. Get a free estimate on a generator, the right generator for your home and family, plus 0% financing for 60 months with approved credit. Let Southern Air help you take the worry out of hurricane season. Take action now. Visit southernairnow.com and let us bear it. Or give us a call at 318-777-5555. Keep the lights on with Southern Air.
It's the first day of the first grade, and she found a new best friend. It's a laid-back Sunday afternoon, you wish would never end.
The homemade taste of bluebell and good friends gathered round. The good old days are being made right now.
You'll be one smart cookie when you try Bluebell Cookie Cake Ice Cream. A sweet cream ice cream loaded with chocolate chip cookie cake pieces and swirls of chocolate and vanilla icing. This cookie cake ice cream really takes the cake.
The good old days are being made right now.
The good old days are being made right now.
Well, good morning. All I can say is dress as cool as you possibly can today. It is going to be a hot one. Sunshine, afternoon highs near 96 today. Less than a 10% chance of any rain to cool things down, and a little of any breeze at all either. Partly cloudy skies tonight. We'll get down to 76 for the overnight low. And then for Thursday, another sunny, warm day with the afternoon high temps near 94. From the Cenla Broadcasting Weather Center, I'm Dave Gratian. Currently 79 degrees in Cenla.
Now back to Talk Back. 970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYO.
All right, we're back here on your Wednesday morning. Al Quartermont and Stephen Maxwell with you. Shane Rasmussen joins us in the studio. It just feels like you were here a couple months ago.
You know, when I sit down in this chair, I literally can remember the last time. It's like, where did a year go?
I know. So Shane is with the Louisiana Folklife Center that's up at NSU, Northwestern State University, and he is the guy that does all the planning and details, putting together the NSU Folk Festival, which just so happens to be this Saturday.
Yep. Guys, this is going to be a wonderful event. Mm-hmm. It's our 45th annual, and the reason for that is that people come and they come back. They have a good time. You know, I mean, they try the red beans and rice. They have an Indian taco. They hear the Zydeco on the occasion. It's all indoors on the NSU campus and the Prather Coliseum. So we're air conditioned, but also dry if it rains.
Right.
And they look at the crafts and they go, good heavens, this is a great festival. And they come on back.
I can imagine.
Indian taco. You need to explain that one.
Marjorie Batiste makes these, and what she does the fry bread. And she cooks it right outside the festival door. And boom, it's just crackling in there. And then she brings it up and it's just, and then she puts the beans and the rice and the meat on top of that. And it's just, it's incredible. Oh, guys, an Indian taco and then she puts the sour cream and then she remembers. Like she'll see, I remember you and you like it hot. And she'll add the extra salsa and the onions on top of mine. I mean, you know, it's handmade because, and I know why she does it. I mean, you know, sure. I mean, she might make a little money, but she's not going to be on Elon Musk or make an Indian taco. You know what I mean? I mean, she does it because she likes to share her culture.
Yeah, that's awesome.
You know, I mean, I'm well aware that when people find it meaningful to them to carry on what people have done before, and that they found some of their best memories in learning how to do that kind of craft or make that kind of food or play that kind of music, you want to share it with others.
Sure.
And, you know, I find that to be very touching because people only do what has meaning for them.
Yes.
You know, and if they didn't like it, they wouldn't continue it. So tradition is basically happiness compounded. You know, it's just, you know, hey, if they didn't like it, they wouldn't keep on doing it. So they know that when you hear Zydeco, you want to get up and dance.
Speaking of Zydeco, Chubby Carrier is going to be there this year.
Oh, Grammy-winning Chubby Carrier.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And he is going to come up and he's going to play with his big band. And also, we have Ami Dutej playing Cajun.
Mm-hmm.
And we have Western Swing. Folks, if you like to dance, this is a festival for you. We got Western Swing coming over with Kristen Harris Band. And she's also a great yodeler. And she's going to do a yodel lesson for everyone as part of her set. I mean, when I saw her yodeling on YouTube. And, you know, she just, I thought, you know, I called her up and I said, okay, I mean, you're going to play. You're going to get them dancing. I get it. But you've got to put some yodeling. Take some time. Take 5 minutes. Give us a demo and show us how it's done.
Wow.
And then let the people try their own yodels. And she's like, oh, yeah, I got it. No problem. I'll fit it in.
Wow.
So
yeah, I think I saw a picture of her standing on a horse.
You know, and that's not just for show. I mean, she's got cows, she's got horses. She is a really good. I mean, she walks the walk.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So yes, when she's not playing her guitar, she's riding her horses, and you know, keeping it real.
Yodeling too.
While
yodeling.
Exactly. Well, I've seen those videos on YouTube, of people in Sweden and Finland calling their cows with a certain call. It kind of sounds like a yodel a little bit. It's like, aye. And, I'm thinking maybe the yodel was kind of makes me wonder if it had any kind of, bearings on the agricultural, kind of knowledge. But, also we got DK Harrell. He's from Ruston. He's a young fellow, and he won the International BB King Award.
Oh, wow.
He took first place. He is going to be the next big thing in dancing blues. There's sad blues, and there's happy blues, to quote Billie Holiday.
Mm-hmm.
He plays the happy kind.
Oh, that's good.
Yes. And he's going to bring his band. He's going to play some dancing blues on our stages. But also we have, for those that like to dance, we've got the Cajun and the Zydeco dance lessons. And these are free, of course.
Square dance lessons, too.
Yeah, well, and we have the Celtic dancers going to give a little lesson.
Wow.
And we have Can
they teach Stephen how to river dance?
Yeah.
I already know how.
I think they could.
I already got it.
You look hale and hearty.
I got is that like a Scottish thing? I have a Scottish last name.
I don't know. I think they are.
Okay.
I mean, they're the thistle dancers.
Yeah. Well, Maxwell translates to dweller by the river, and so we always river danced.
Okay, news to me. So maybe you got it in the blood.
I can yodel too.
But
true.
I don't know.
I almost did a little challenge.
Who was the country
I know you were.
Wasn't there a country music singer that used to yodel?
Oh yes, there was. The name is
remember
escaping me.
Yeah,
a classic country fellow.
Yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
I remember hearing him on the radio
from like 30 years ago.
30 years. I don't know.
Of course, Slim Whitman used to yodel too.
Is that right?
Remember Slim Whitman?
I
used to do the K-Tel record commercials with Slim Whitman.
Actually, my dad liked Slim Whitman a lot.
Really?
Yeah, I've heard plenty. I kind of like him. Maybe it's because I grew up, but I the streets of Bremerton. Oh wait, I shouldn't be singing. But I remember those records he'd buy. But folks, also we got the food. Whether it's the cracklin'. I mean, Roosevelt Sykes is going to make that cracklin', and he brings it in. And he puts his proprietary blend of spices. Usually people put the hot, they put the salty, but he puts on just a little bit of sweet too.
Mm-hmm.
It's incredible. And the Hall of Crafts. So we have 70 craftspeople this year. This year is our Crafting Louisiana theme. And these crafts are not made from a kit. They're not made they didn't purchase them online, and they're made personally, handmade by those people that have learned that craft, learned to do that from the person that taught them face to face, so that transmission. So it's incredible. Whether it's the handmade banjo or the hand woven baskets or the beads, the Chinaberry necklaces, whether it's the filet that Dustin Fuquay pounds when he pounds those sassafras leaves that he picked himself and he dried himself and took all the peelings off of all the little stems that you don't even see, and then you see that green mist coming up out of that stump, and you smell that. That is not what you're going to find in Walmart.
That's for sure.
You want to buy it and put that filet on your gumbo, and it's awesome.
Wow. Shane, we need to take a quick break. We want to come back and get more details about the Natchitoches Folk Festival happening this Saturday up at Northwestern State University as we continue here on Talkback.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics with 27 providers and 3 locations. Someone can see you today. Stick around. More of Talkback is on the way.
Summertime in Cenla is here. Time to explore. Feeling adventurous? Go biking or hiking in the National Forest, or camping at the many recreation areas that offer canoeing, kayaking, boating, and fishing. Fun for the whole family. Check out the animals at the zoo, on a petting farm, or at a drive-through safari. Love golf? Then hit the links. And for those with a taste for freshness, don't miss our farmers market. Want more ideas? Go to explorealexandriapineville.com. 2 cities, 1 epic summer.
Success is about momentum. For over 20 years, Kinetics has been moving businesses forward with cutting-edge IT, cybersecurity, and marketing solutions while keeping them secure, innovative, and competitive. We power progress with next-gen business technology and marketing solutions designed to keep your business ahead of the competition. Need seamless IT, a bold new brand, a strategy built for what's next? Don't get left behind. Move forward with Kinetics. Visit kbisp.com and take the next step today.
Now back to Talkback, 970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYO.
All right, Alan Stephen back with you. Our guest, Shane Rasmussen from the Louisiana Folklife Center. The Natchitoches Folk Festival is this weekend at Prather Coliseum. And I know with the chance of some tropical weather and lots of rain, that would be the perfect place to be all day.
Well, we're going to be inside. We're going to be air conditioned no matter what, and it's going to be dry.
Yes.
So come on out. This is going to be a good time. We have the Louisiana State Fiddle Championship also. It's in the Miguel Recital Hall right in the NSU campus. If you're thinking, how do I get there? If you're at Prather, we got a shuttle bus going, so you're going to be fine there.
Oh, wow.
It's from 1 to 4, but also late registration is at noon. So, it's real simple. If you want to register, you certainly can show up and get some of those cash prizes if you compete. We'd love to have you win something. But also, and on that stage, before the Fiddle Championship, we got the Smithfield Fair. Smithfield Fair have been playing for 40 years. They're from Alexandria initially, and they're coming up from Baton Rouge now where they're located at, but they are great. Just amazing. That's the thing about this festival. There's so much to do. It's almost like you can't do it all. Because you can't see all 3 or 4 stages at once. We have our narrative sessions where we have people like Tommy Whitehead, who knew Clementine Hunter personally.
Wow.
And he would sometimes be watching her as she is painting, and he'd say, how much do you want for that painting? And she'd finish it up, and she'd just give him a price, and he'd just buy it right there. He's going to talk about his memories of Clementine Hunter and about knowing her. But, also we have these music performances, so you can sit down in a room, with 30, 40 people, and D.K. Harrell's playing his blues guitar, and then talking and giving Q&A right there. And, not many festivals you can meet the artists up close and personal like that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So, this festival is... this is for everyone. We're nationally recognized. People that care about culture, like the Louisiana Division of the Arts or the Louisiana Endowment of Humanities, the Jazz Fest and Heritage Group Foundation, the Canyon for National Heritage Area, the Natchitoches Historic District Development Commission. It's hard to say fast.
Yeah.
These people care about culture because it's important,
right?
And they support it. But also, we have so many people that come back again and again because they find that what we have is not just entertaining; it's educational, it's edifying, and they learn something about their neighbors that they might not know. we got the Czech Heritage Dancers coming up from Libus, which is other side of Pineville, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they are amazing. They come up in their costumes and they dance, and then they make it interactive. They ask people to dance with them.
Very cool.
And we also, the San Jarocho dancing is going to happen this year from Veracruz. So it's the Fandango dancing. The Armadillos Tejanos are coming over from Texas to share that with us. And they're also going to be just interactive with the people. So, and we also have the Cajun dancing and the Zydeco dancing and those lessons. And of course, those lessons are free. It's like the musical spoons workshop we got going, which is we're going to give away a musical spoon to all 50 participants for free, so you can take it home and drive your your significant other or your parents crazy. But and that's taught by Clancy Stewart, who won Ozark musician in 2014. I mean, she knows her stuff.
Yeah.
She's going to do the dancing doll and fiddlesticks. So this Saturday is going to be amazing. Guys, this is the show you do not want to miss.
45th annual. How many years have you been part of it?
I've been 2009 was my first festival.
Okay.
So
not quite 45 years.
No, there were people doing it before me.
Yeah.
But I want to keep it going as long as I can. So
yeah.
I'm eating my Wheaties, watching what I eat. I'm saving my crackling. So
once a year.
You blew the diet this weekend,
right?
Yeah.
Although I don't know, I saw the sign for Kevados down then as I was coming down the highway, and I thought I wouldn't mind a little crackling today.
Yeah.
Hey, they're good.
Exactly.
We love them over there.
Highly recommend. What do people have to pay to get into the festival?
It's $10 for all day for adults, starting at 9 a.m., going to 9:30 p.m.
That's a bargain.
And children 12 and under are free.
Wow.
And I got 5 kids, guys.
Yeah,
for a while, my wife and I could go nowhere.
So you've never been to a movie, huh?
For a while, it was hard because the 2-year-old's is going to look around like at the ceiling or something like that. They're not going to care, and you got to still pay for them.
Yeah.
So we make it so that young families can bring their youngins, and we got Kid Fest. Drop your kid off at Kid Fest. Let those ladies take care of them, and then you go get some gumbo, and they'll hit the dance floor. You'll have a great time. So, guys, this is Louisiana's festival.
Absolutely. All right. It is the 45th annual NSU Folk Festival happening this Saturday, 9:30 to 9:30. You said
9 o'clock till 9:30.
9 o'clock till 9:30.
We're closing out with the has-beens, guys who have played in the Acadiana dance halls forever, and they're doing dance hall music and swamp pop. That's on the main stage at 8 o'clock.
Awesome. So that's up at Northwestern State University's campus, Prather Coliseum. So weather won't be a factor at all. Maybe driving, but you'll be fine. You'll be fine.
And now can get his yodeling in.
Yes, exactly.
That's the goal.
There you go. All right, Shane, thank you so much, and we'll see you in no time next year.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate it. We'll come back with more Talk Back.
Talk Back is sponsored by The Clinics with 27 providers and 3 locations. Someone can see you today. Stick around. More of Talk Back is on the way.
Close your eyes and feel the sun-drenched breeze of southern Spain. From whitewashed villages to golden beaches, this is where history meets passion. Moorish palaces, flamenco night, and unforgettable tapas. This small group, escorted by Annie and Christine in March 2026, will visit Seville, Cordoba, Granada, Marbella, and more. Join our spectacular Spain tour, beaming with culturally rich and local experiences. FreedomTravelLLC.com, your international travel architect.
All of us have that one friend who can just light up the room with a smile. And sadly, how many of us are just a little bit envious of that friend? Well, here's the good news. The folks over at Today's Dental in Pineville can deliver that beautiful beaming smile. Over the years, hundreds of hopeful patients have visited and been completely satisfied. They've made getting dental implants an amazingly simple, low-anxiety procedure, one that's affordable for anyone's budget. The staff at Today's Dental go out of their way to make you feel comfortable with calming in-office IV sedation that's administered by a highly skilled, certified nurse anesthetist. And their multiple finance options make the entire procedure truly affordable. Isn't it your turn to light up that room? Give Today's Dental a call at 448-4540. It's a general dental facility on Highway 28 East in Pineville, owned by Dr. Jonas Gauthier. That's 448-4540.
Have a Class A or B CDL? Want to drive a local route every day? If you said yes, then you're who we're looking for. Waste Connections of Alexandria, Natchitoches, and Lafayette is hiring drivers with CDL license. You'll get competitive wages, paid vacations, a company stock program, a 401k with company match, medical, dental, vision, life, and disability insurance, and a local route with you at home with your family every night. Apply now at wasteconnections.com/employment. That's wasteconnections.com.
970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYO. To take part in the show, call 442-8255. That's 442-TALK. Talk back.
And we're back on Light Hits 970. KSYL's Talk Back.
Here's the soft rock. What is going on around here?
Did you drop the mouse?
No, it was the charger.
Oh, the charge.
I didn't take it home.
At least we got the mouse. That's right. Oh, goodness.
I'm glad Nathan had it, though. I was really, wondering.
Yeah. We love Nathan.
He's the man.
It's okay. If you guys could have seen his face when he walked in here, you didn't see it because your back was turned to him. He just had the most apologetic looking face on. I don't even know how to describe it.
It happens.
Hey, Steven, today is National Hot Dog Day. I got a question for you.
What's
if you were a hot dog, would you eat yourself?
No, I would. Slathered in
mustard. I'd be so delicious. I'd be mayonnaise.
What do you put on your hot dog?
Mustard. I don't put mayonnaise on.
Why not?
Oh my God.
I like mustard, mayonnaise, ketchup, relish, onions.
Wow.
But the best of all time is chili cheese with mayonnaise.
That is fire. That's straight. No mayonnaise.
Some Crystal's hot sauce too.
The best is the Secret Stadium sauce from Milwaukee.
Which one?
I don't know if you remember going to the ballpark. They have that Secret Stadium sauce. It's kind of like a lighter barbecue sauce. So good.
Oh, okay.
So good.
So like Chick-fil-A sauce?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, not at all.
I bet you Chick-fil-A sauce is good on a hot dog. Guaranteed.
Really, with hot dogs, it should just be mustard.
Why? That's just so
like
boring.
The rule.
That's so boring.
In fact, I was watching CBS Sunday Morning a couple weeks ago, and there's a famous hot dog place in Chicago that the guy went to, and he was trying to put ketchup on. The lady wouldn't let him. Ketchup is for the French fries, not for the hot dog.
I don't know. I think hot dogs are a little overrated, but
no,
I do like them. I like a good bratwurst better. I'm on your good side now.
Well,
see, I knew I'd make you happy.
I got you, but a good hot dog.
I had some for the 4th of July.
Nathan's are the best.
Yeah, they're good.
I love Nathan's.
I think I had Sam's Club.
Okay. The Sam's Club
They're good, man.
Still a great deal.
They make good food over there.
It's like $1 or a couple bucks. You get a hot dog and a drink.
Yeah.
I mean, that's still like the best deal in town.
Cheap food right there.
Mm-hmm.
Tell you what.
I bet they ate some hot dogs last night at the Atlanta Braves Stadium. Truist Park, is that the name of Truist?
Who did?
The Atlanta Braves Stadium where they had the All-Star game.
Oh, okay.
It was last night. You missed it.
I didn't. I saw like a clip of.
So the National League was winning 6-0.
Mm-hmm.
They raced out to a 6-0 lead, and you think, okay, because the National League's won like 11 of the last 12 All-Star games. But with Davey Roberts, the Dodgers manager, they let it slip away.
And it's actually pivotal, isn't it?
It used to be. It's not anymore. They used to do it where whoever won the game, they would end up hosting, or whichever league won would be the host site for the World Series.
Yeah.
But they eliminated that a few years ago, which I'm kind of glad. Yeah, kind of glad. But anyway, so the American League comes back. They tie it in the 9th inning. And if you remember back in, was it 2001 when they had the All-Star game in Milwaukee, 2002, and it was tied after the 9th inning, and they just stopped the game because they'd run out of pitchers.
Oh, my gosh.
Well, they learned their lesson from that. So now what they do is they have a swing off, they call it.
Yeah, I saw that.
It's basically like a mini home run derby. Each team picks 3 players. Problem is, a lot of the better players, your Ohtanis, your Judges, they pull them out after the 1st or 2nd inning. And so they're not warmed up. They're not going to play those guys and get a chance to get them hurt. So it was guys that had been playing the last few innings. But Kyle Schwarber, who's the Philadelphia Phillies hitter, he came up as the second of the 3 hitters for the National League, and they were down 3-1 and then he hit 3 straight home runs, so that put him up 4-3. And then the next guy from the American League didn't hit any, so they won.
Dang, yeah, I saw that.
So I mean, it was, you know, the players were into it. They were really cheering. It was kind of cool, I guess. So best moment of the night though is they did a tribute to Hank Aaron.
Okay, yeah.
And his wife was there, and there was this picture of her from like behind her looking out on the field during the tribute.
I don't know if you saw that, Alan Tinsley's card shop.
Yeah.
He has a baseball signed by Aaron and Ruth.
I know.
It's pretty cool. You should go touch it.
Yeah. Now, you don't want to touch it. That's.
Why not?
You don't want to put your fingerprints on a baseball. On a baseball. The oils will.
Well, we touched it.
Did you?
Yeah.
Really?
He did.
He let you? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
I didn't think.
Well, maybe he just held like where the seams are.
That's probably what he did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you don't want to touch the actual autograph. So, anyway, out of time for today, everybody. We'll have plenty of time to talk tomorrow.
We'll be here.
Stephen will be out and about today.
I'll stop yawning too. Good Lord, just hit me.
Take a nap, brother.
Man, how?
You've been listening to Talkback. The opinions expressed were those